Hello and welcome back to another class. My name is Tati. If you're new here, welcome. If you've practiced with me before, welcome back. Today we'll be flowing through a feel so good yoga flow. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do that to support my channel. And with that, I'd say let's get started in a lying down position on our belly. So coming all the way down onto the belly, forearms are parallel to the short edge of the mat, and then just placing the forehead onto the hands. Taking a moment to connect to your breath. Sensing how your body and mind feel. Welcoming yourself to this bit of self-care time. Well done for making it onto the mat. And then gently wriggling the hips from side to side. And you can keep the left arm exactly where it is, or move it with the hand pointing forward and bending into the right knee. Right arm floats behind, and try hold onto the right foot. Don't worry if it's somewhere in space, you can work towards finding the foot. Otherwise, if you have got the foot, holding the back of the foot and drawing the right heel towards the bum. It absolutely doesn't have to come all the way to the bum. We're just working towards getting it there. Keep a nice bend in the right elbow, maybe gazing back towards the foot. Feeling that stretch in the right hamstring. Exhale, releasing the foot. And switching sides, right arm comes parallel to the short edge of the mat. I prefer it this way, but some people like having the arm long, so parallel to the long end of the mat. You choose. Inhale, bending the left knee, floating the left arm behind. Maybe it's somewhere in space. Try finding your left foot and then drawing that left heel towards the bum, gazing over the left shoulder or in front of you. The belly is pressing into the earth. And exhale, releasing the foot, bringing the hands back underneath the body, and then sliding both forearms so they're parallel to one another with the elbows underneath the shoulders. Inhale, peeling the chest up from the mat, finding Sphinx pose, so a nice gentle back bend here. And then tucking the toes, bringing the hands close to the shoulders and pressing yourself through into a child's pose. We're just briefly here. Inhale, rounding the spine up and then melting the hips down and the chest down, keeping the hands underneath the shoulders with the chest lifted in a baby cobra. Exhale, press yourself back through child's. I'm just flowing through this movement between baby cobra and a child's pose. Don't worry how this looks. Just focusing how it feels in your body. Can be quite nice to close the eyes to help us focus on the sensations rather than what it looks like. And then the next time you press yourself into child's pose, just taking a moment to rest in child's with the head resting on the earth. Inhale, walking the fingertips up towards the body, coming down onto the knees. So sitting the hips back, If this isn't comfortable, you can come into a cross-legged position. Otherwise, joining us here, placing the right hand, I'll come to face you, right hand to the right side, and inhale, stretching the left arm up and over, bending towards the right side. And you can bend to the right arm. Don't worry if this feels too strong. You can also stay with the arm stretched up straight. Sinking the left hips towards the left side. Gazing down towards the hand or up towards the left fingertips. And exhale, floating left hand down, right arm swoops up and over. Maybe a baby bend on the left arm, right arm stretches up and overhead, sinking the right hips down. Gazing up or towards the left hand. Inhale and just floating once more to the other side. 2 breaths here. And switching, left hand comes down, right arm stretches up and over. Inhale, finding your way back through center. And then clasping the hands behind the back of the head, peeling the elbows up, chest comes forward, and then exhale, rounding the spine, pressing the elbows towards one another. Inhale, opening up the chest, finding a little hollow in the back. Exhale, round it forward. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. Last time, releasing the arms and the hands, placing the hands in front of you, and then tucking the toes. We're going to find a little toe squat, and you can either keep it with all of the toes spread wide. If it's too strong, place the hands in front of you and just stay in this position. Or sinking the hips back and then walking the hands to rest on the thighs. Shoulders are falling back. Nice open chest, and maybe closing the eyes. Focusing on a nice deep belly breath. And at any time, if it gets too intense in your toes, you can always come down. Opening the eyes if they were closed. And then using the hands as stabilizers, try lifting the knees up off the mat. And here we're actually going to open the knees a little bit. So if you're on your toes, the knees are pointing out. And then we're going to close the knees and open, maybe bringing the hands to prayer, really challenging your balance here. Closing the knees and open. Closing the knees and open. And the next time the knees are open, try lifting yourself up slowly all the way up into a standing position, staying on the tips of the toes. Hands at prayer. And then lowering yourself all the way back down. Whew. This is good work for the calves and the thighs. Exhale, releasing the hands down, coming onto the knees. And just tapping out the backs of the toes, giving them a little bit of release. And a thank you for doing all that hard work. Tucking the left toes, right leg swoops up behind you. You can stay here or maybe work on your balance and lifting the left arm, stretching it towards the top of the mat. So the neck is nice and long, gazing down just to the point below your nose on the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drawing left knee and right arm underneath the body. Sorry, left elbow and right knee. Inhale, stretching out. Exhale, tap. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, tap. Inhale, stretch. And staying here or bending that the right knee, floating the left hand behind, and see if you can find your foot, and if you can, actively pressing the right foot into the left hand, lifting it up as high as you can, opening the chest, gazing forward, or if you'd like to challenge yourself a bit, gazing back towards the foot. Exhale, release, stretching left arm and right leg, and then finding back into tabletop, recentering yourself, and then preparing to do it on the other side. So inhale, tucking the right toes, left leg sweeps up, nice straight line, and then maybe working on your balance, straightening the right arm, nice straight line from the right fingertips to the left toe tips, finding length. Inhale and exhale, right elbow taps left knee underneath the body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and lengthen. Bending that left knee, floating the right arm around. And try finding your foot in space. If you can, actively pressing foot into hand and lifting up as high as you can. Gazing forward, or maybe trying to gaze over the foot and hand. Releasing the hold, stretching right arm forward, left foot back. Finding length. Exhale, release. Whew, good job. Maybe wriggling the hips from side to side. And then tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Pedaling out the legs. Shaking the head yes and no. And then walking yourself all the way to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Bending into the knees, holding opposite elbows and gently swaying from side to side. Releasing tension in the back of the legs, the lower back. Letting the head hang heavy. Inhale, releasing the arms. And then rolling yourself slowly all the way up into a standing position. Shoulders roll back and away. Big toes touch. A little gap in the heels. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into a high plank position. Inhale, pressing the floor away, option to lower the knees, and then coming all the way down onto the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then from here, you might like to walk the hands a little bit wider apart, feet a little bit wider apart, and then see if you can lift the left hand a little bit up off the mat. So you're practicing your balance here, and if you can, maybe see if that left hand can come behind and find your right calf or ankle, gazing underneath the right armpit. Twisted down dog. Exhale, releasing the left hand back to the mat. Taking a breath here. And then bringing the weight into the left hand. See if you can raise that right hand a little bit up off the mat. And if you feel stable and balanced, see if that right arm can float underneath the body, finding the left shin, ankle, gazing underneath the left armpit. Exhale, releasing the right hand back to the mat, walking back into a normal distance, down dog. And inhale, ripple forward into a high plank position. And then inhale, tapping right knee to right elbow, step back, high plank. Left knee taps left elbow, step back, high plank. And right, and left, and 3, and 2. You've got this last one. Right, and then lowering the knees, chest, shin all the way onto the mat, finding back into that forearm crossed on top of one another, forward rest, and shaking the hips from side to side. Inhale from here, floating the arms behind, and then pressing into the belly, peeling the feet and legs up off the mat, and then lifting the arms and the chest, finding into locust pose. Remembering to breathe here, which can be a bit tricky when we're pressing into the belly. Finding strength in your lower back. Exhale, release. Finding a little pause in your practice. And then preparing for our second round of locust pose, or finding into bow pose. So bending both knees, finding the feet with the hands, and then inhale, pressing into the belly, pressing actively feet into hands and lifting everything up off the mat. Exhale, release, good job. Shaking the hips from side to side. And then pressing yourself up into all fours, walking the hands forward and melting the upper body down. Hips stay above the knees, finding melting heart pose. Inhale, walking the hands back into tabletop, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps up, step it forward. Inhale, high crescent lunge. And exhale, opening up into a warrior two position. Finding length. Exhale, flipping in the front palm, leaning forward. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale, coming forward, right hand rests on right leg, left arm stretches up, finding a high angle pose, or bringing the right hand down. Option to stay here, or maybe play with your bind. So bending the left elbow, right arm comes underneath the body, And just try and keeping that left shoulder drawing up, opening the chest. Exhale, releasing the bind if you were there, coming back into a side angle pose. Exhale, release, framing the front foot, step back, flowing through a vinyasa. And everyone meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg sweeps up, breathing in. Exhale, stepping forward, finding into a high lunge position. Breathing in, finding length. Exhale, open it up into a warrior two pose. Sinking that left knee a little lower, gazing over the left fingertips. Flipping the left palm, leaning forward. Exhale, reversing the warrior. Inhale, finding into side angle pose. Left hand on left thigh, right arm stretches up and over. Maybe bringing the left hand down onto the mat. And then option to play with your bind. So bending the right elbow, left arm comes underneath the body. Working on keeping that right shoulder pointing up. And exhale, from here we're going to straddle the legs, so walking the hands to the midline, heels pointing slightly out, toes slightly in. Inhale, finding length in the spine, and exhale, folding forward. And the hands can come underneath the body, or maybe you'd like to grasp the heels, bending the elbows and drawing yourself down towards the earth. Inhale, walking the hands underneath the face, pressing yourself up high into a flat back. Left hand stays underneath the face, and then exhale, right hand onto right hip, or floating that right arm up towards the sky, gazing towards the right fingertips. Breathing into lengthen. And exhale, release, switching sides, pressing the right palm into the mat, left hand onto left hip, or straightening that left arm all the way up, spiraling the chest open towards the left. Exhale, releasing the left hand back down to the mat. Inhale, straight back, hands on hips, slight bend in the knees, and then slowly lifting yourself all the way up. Walking the feet in a little bit, heels in, toes out, and then sinking the hips down into your yogic squat position. Hands can rest on the mat for help in stabilizing yourself. If the heels are up off the mat, that's totally fine. If you want some added help here, you can place a block underneath the bum. Otherwise, hands on the mat or pressing them in prayer. Elbows can press against the knees to really open up the groin area. It can be quite nice also to move in your malasana, so really help opening up those hips. And then sinking the bum down, coming straight into navasana, boat pose. So holding the inside edges of the knees, legs are parallel to the mat, and you can stay here with a nice straight spine, maybe floating the arms in front of you, or option to straighten the legs, engaging those core muscles, breathing here. Keep a smile on your face, you've got this. This is a great way to strengthen many different muscles in your body. Exhale, release, coming into a cross-legged position, and then simply folding forward. So take a note now which leg is folded in front. Hands can come down, or walking them all the way down, melting the body towards the earth. Inhale, coming back out, and then switching the cross of the legs and melting yourself back forward. Feeling that gentle stretch in the hip. Inhale, gently pressing yourself back up into a seated position. You're welcome to find a shavasana if you have some time. I would highly encourage you to do that. But I'm going to close off the practice here. So taking a last nice deep breath in as you sweep the arms up, gathering fresh energy, palms to touch, and then bringing the prayer to your heart space, connecting to yourself and your practice, finding gratitude for yourself for making the time to be here today. And lowering the gaze. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you enjoyed this feel-good flow. Let me know in the comments if you were here. Just leave a little pink heart emoji. And if you haven't already subscribed, it's a great way to join this community. I am so grateful that so many of you are here joining. And I will see you again real soon. All my love.